Tonight, 9 new cases of COVID-19 are confirmed Wednesday. St. Lucia has not yet made payments to secure COVID vaccines once they become available. And Prime Minister Alan Chastanet comments on Dr. Hiller's lawsuit against the Controller of Customs, calling it disgraceful. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely St. Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Wednesday, the 25th of November, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. 2 visitors are among the latest batch of confirmed cases of COVID-19. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Health confirmed 9 new cases, taking the island's total count so far to 235. Nisha Charles begins our reporting.
Case number 231 is a 37-year-old female, and case number 232 is a 35-year-old male. The 2 arrived in country on Sunday, November 22nd, and required retesting for COVID-19 upon arrival. They proceeded to a COVID-19 certified property for quarantine, pending the receipt of their results. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma George says upon being confirmed as COVID-19 cases, they have both since been transferred into isolation, and the contact tracing process for these cases has begun. The remaining cases are all St. Lucia nationals.
Case number 227 is a 43-year-old female from the Castries district. Case number 228 is an 83-year-old male from the Soufrière district. Case number 229 is a 56-year-old female from the Gros-Islet district. Case number 230 is a 27-year-old female from the Castries district. Case number 233 is a 29-year-old male from the Castries district. Case number 234 is a 39-year-old male from the Castries district. Case number 235 is a 29-year-old female from the Castries district.
All of the individuals, after being assessed and tested for COVID-19, were placed into quarantine by health practitioners while awaiting their results. Epidemiological links have been established for 5 of these cases: cases 227, 230, 233, 234, and 235.
The contact tracing team is in the process of investigating the presence of epidemiological links for the other cases. As per protocol, arrangements have been made to place all cases into isolation. These new cases bring the total number of active cases in country to 124. None of these cases currently require critical care, and they're all doing well. As we are now in what is traditionally the cold and flu season, the Ministry of Health and Wellness reminds everyone of the importance of building a strong immune system to be able to fight off respiratory illnesses. Be sure to increase your intake of citrus fruits and vegetables and to remain hydrated by drinking water frequently during the day.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness will continue to provide updates on St. Lucia's COVID-19 status. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Through PAHO and CARPHA, Caribbean countries are hoping to access COVID-19 vaccines. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has consented to pay a share of the costs, and the governments of selected countries pay the balance. St. Kitts has already announced that it has paid in full to secure access to a COVID-19 vaccine. Here in St. Lucia, Prime Minister Alan Chastanet has indicated that the country is considering the proposition. However, he says there are many things to consider when it comes to paying upfront for a COVID-19 vaccine.
The European Union has committed to mobilize resources for the coronavirus global response and is providing $2 million for COVID-19 vaccines for Caribbean countries whenever a vaccine becomes available. The EU funding, which will finance the down payment for more than 1 million doses of the successful vaccine for regional countries, has already been transferred to the COVAX facility through its vaccine alliance. Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, St. Lucia, as well as St. Vincent and the Grenadines, automatically qualify to access the vaccine alliance. While St. Kitts and Nevis has already secured its supply of vaccines, St. Lucia has yet to make a definitive statement on its acquisition. Suffice to say that there is a collective effort on the part of CARICOM to access the vaccine. Chastanet was more concerned with how it would be paid for.
Anything that we can do to provide opportunities for our citizens, we will. But I want to say that the CARICOM is speaking collectively. And so we're all working together, and I would not want to be part of something in which St. Lucia would benefit from something and our other brothers and sisters in the region would not. So we are speaking collectively. How we pay for it is what's being determined, and based on our status internationally through the IFIs is what's being determined.
As deaths from COVID-19 surpass 1 million worldwide, including in CARICOM member states, the growing need for a vaccine has become painfully evident. The Prime Minister says his government is working feverishly to obtain the vaccine at the soonest possible time.
I think they're talking about the elderly people, the more vulnerable people in our society, and our frontline workers getting the vaccine first, and we're even going through those levels of protocols. But I'm very encouraged by the discussions that are taking place. I'm very encouraged to hear that the vaccine probably will start rolled out in the US and Europe before Christmas. And I'm hoping that by the time we reach the summer, that there would be a universal solution to this really horrid virus.
The COVAX facility, which was launched in April, is co-led by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, and the World Health Organization. The facility supports access to COVID-19 vaccines for lower-income economies. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
In other news, Prime Minister Alain Chastanet is reacting to news that Dr. Ernest Hilaire intends to sue the Controller of Customs. He calls the action distasteful.
In a new twist of events in the on-again, off-again vehicle saga between the Customs Department and former St. Lucia High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, it was revealed on Tuesday that Dr. Hilaire had served preliminary action letters to the Comptroller of Customs, Peter Chico, and Prime Minister Alain Chastanet. In his quest to redeem his name and reputation, Dr. Hilaire stated that no one who played a role in the detention of his vehicle will be spared. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Alain Chastanet responded to Dr. Hilaire's statement, saying the attacks being leveled at a public service worker is unpalatable.
The issue with Dr. Hilaire is one of governance. You know, there can't be one standard for one person and another standard for other persons. And what's just very difficult to appreciate and understand, certainly for me, if in fact that he is as innocent as he says he is, I don't know how difficult it is to provide the documentation that Customs is asking for. And then in not providing it, to turn around and publicly abuse a public officer, I find very distasteful. I find it concerning. I'm shocked that a law firm of the standard, that the one that's representing him, would participate in that kind of thing.
The PM said, contrary to popular belief, his involvement in the matter is not personal. In the same breath, the PM explained that St. Lucia is a democratic society, and as such, Dr. Hilaire is free to challenge the decision if he so pleases.
Some people try to make this out to be a personal matter with me. I got personally involved because Dr. Hilaire took me to court already on a defamation case, and one in which I have every right to defend myself. And there is a sufficient amount of evidence in my mind, and certainly it will be for the courts to make that final determination, that justified me in questioning the integrity of Ernest. There are many things that he has done in his past and continues to do that really boggles the mind. And I'm hoping that solutions will see him for what he is. Certainly he is not surprising me at this point, but it's not personal for me, only personal in the sense that he's already taken me to court, but I find it very disheartening.
Prime Minister Chastanet went on to add that if Dr. Hilaire is as innocent as he is insisting, then he should have simply produced the documents which he was asked to hand in.
I'm actually surprised that more St. Lucians have not pushed back on that. How is it that you're attacking a public officer who had nothing to do with what you did? If in fact you are innocent, provide the documentation.
After a long back and forth between the parties, the vehicle was detained on the night of Thursday, the 12th of November, 2020. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. Stay with us. Still to come, the Prime Minister on public calls for mandatory second testing for visitors. Gary from Florida goes viral again, but this time he is calling out St. Lucians for discrimination. And the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism weighs in on the entire affair. Also, a dead man takes a seated open-air ride to his own funeral. That and more after the break.